Okay, let's talk about something that I don't think we talk enough about in our GLP-1 community. That's December. December is, I think, one of the most dangerous months for us to regain weight back. And it has nothing to do with, I don't think it has anything to do with food. Nothing. It's not the cookies. It's not the big holiday meals. It's not the, peppermint drinks or the party spreads. I think it's the loss of structure because I think December comes in and just completely wipes out our routines. There could be travel, parties, family staying with you, kids being home from school, late nights, stress, emotional triggers. I can go on and on. I think it all stacks up. And suddenly you're living in a month where I think like nothing feels predictable. And, also when your structure goes, I think your habits go with them. And when your habits go, I think that's when some of like that backsliding, certain things kind of creep back in a little bit. And I want to ask you this one question. And I want you all, if you can, be honest with yourself here. How many Decembers have taken you out? Mine did last year. How many times have you walked into January feeling like, kind of like you were starting from scratch and you needed to reverse everything you did in December? How many times have you said, okay, after the holidays, let's just get through the holidays, I'll get back on track, even though you really didn't want to wait until the new year? I used to do that. I feel like I used to do that like every single year, other maybe than like that first year I was on a GLP-1 over 2.5 years ago. And that's why I did that. I'm still in the Finish 2025 Strong plan, still crushing that, mainly because I know my patterns. I know now where I drift. I know what December can do to me if I don't find a way to just stay intentional. And I don't want another like year to go by where I lose progress in that like last month of the year. Not after everything that I have worked for. And also this year, I decided absolutely I'm not going to say I'm starting over in January. There's no backsliding. No, I'm going to fix it later. There's still 31 days left in the year. I want to protect my progress now. I think before like that chaos hits, I mean, it can hit at any point. And honestly, that realization hit me this weekend after Thanksgiving. I think by day 3, I was like, oh no, nope. I can already feel like some of my structure slipping a little bit. I have family still here. There's just food that I don't typically keep in here. It's everywhere. House is loud. My routine is non-existent. And I caught myself going into some little old patterns. I'm not talking about like just binge eating, not that, but kind of like drifting into these like more food noise coming in and mentally checking out and not being more like intentional with what I was eating. And that's the moment I said, okay, not this year. I see the warning signs. I finally see them before it's too late. I know this pattern. I am going to cut it off now. And also, let me ask you, did this happen to you too? We're, now December 1st. Did Thanksgiving throw off, you longer than you expected? Did you go into it saying just today, and then it's like the next day, and now you're just trying to recover from it and bounce back? I just want to let you know you're not alone. That's exactly why I think having this conversation is important, because here's the truth. The food noise isn't the issue anymore. Like I still have it coming and going, and I don't think it's a big issue for most of us on GLP-1s. I think it's the routine, the structure, the predictability. Those things still matter. I think they're the foundation. And December really tries its best to pull that foundation right from under us. Wow. I'm thinking about last year right now as I'm talking about this. Cause think about it. Like December is a month where, you could be sleeping at weird times. You're traveling or hosting or combo of both. You're eating at like odd hours. I guess you could say you're around different foods than you normally are. And your workouts, they either get moved, skipped, you're squeezing in a 30-minute or an hour into 30 minutes, or maybe you just forgot. Your water intake can drop. Stress goes up. Your patience goes down. And I think when that happens, that's when like those old habits start kind of like whispering in your ear. And it is not the cookie. I don't think it's the chaos. And the chaos is what we have to prepare for, really, when you think about it. That's why, I'm really leaning heavily, and I've talked a lot about my Finish 2025 Strong plan this month, because as I said, it's just this framework, right? It's when everything else is unpredictable, I have this framework that I try to fit in. It helps me know what my goals are, what my focus is, what I can control, instead of like panicking over what I can't. And I think it brings me also back to some of those basics that really have carried me through, this entire weight loss journey from Mounjaro to compounded tirzepatide, back on Mounjaro, losing 90 pounds. And I want to bring that, to you all with me today. And let me ask you something. What habit disappeared first for you, maybe in your past Decembers? Was it the movement? Was it water? Did you not hit your protein goals, struggle sleeping, or were you not tracking? If you do track, strength training, comment below. I want to know, because I think we all have different weak spots, and calling them out actually helps us kind of stay aware. Me, it's the snacking. That's why I put it on my Finish 2025 Strong. And I also don't do well when I don't have my structure, because I am such a routine girl. Because when my routine goes, I go right with it. So this year, here's what I really am going to try to do differently. And it's just simplifying everything, because I really think it's important to reduce that decision fatigue, because I'm keeping my habits small. And I have kind of going into December, I'm anchoring my day with the pillars that always have worked for me. And it's the movement, the protein, the hydration, the sleep, the stress management, and just checking in with myself mentally. If it's not daily, it's weekly. And I want you to think about, like, what can that look like for you? What is that one small daily habit that makes everything easier for you? Something that, when you do it, you feel aligned and everything else comes into place. And when you skip it, you feel completely off. Maybe it's not being able to go for a walk. Maybe it's like a morning quiet time. Maybe it's prepping your protein or your meals for a couple days that week. Maybe you like to journal. Comment it below, because I think it's important to call it out. I think when you call it out, you make it real, because this is the month where these small habits matter more than any other month in the year. And I think this is the month where just 5 minutes of structure can save you from like the next couple weeks of regret. I think this is the month where, even just showing up like 20-30% each day counts. This is a month where, you protect your momentum instead of trying to abandon it without even realize you're doing it, and then it's too late. And I want to remind you, you don't need to be perfect in December. And I'm saying that to myself as well. That's not our goal in all of this. I think our goal is to just stay engaged and just stay aware, stay connected to, say, that version of you've worked really, really hard to become, even if you're just starting out on your GLP-1 journey, because the version of you who doesn't quit at the first sign of chaos, that's what we want. The version of you that shows up even when, the month is just absolutely messy. The version of you who finishes, what she started. That's who I'm choosing to be in the month of December for those 31 days. And I want to hear from you. What is your intention for December? Like I said, it could be something small. What's that one thing that you refuse to backslide on? Comment it. I would love to hear it. I keep saying this. Say it out loud. Claim it. This is your goal for December, because let's be honest, anyone can crush January. It's a new year. Like, it's just effortless, I feel like, for the first week or two. But December is where the real work happens. December is where long-term success is built. It is where, you protect, I feel like, every single thing that you have worked for. And I'm walking into January, and I want to walk into January proud. I will walk into January proud. I'm going to walk in with this momentum. I'm walking in with, strength, and I don't want the regret like I did last year. So if you're ready to break the pattern, if you're ready, to stay consistent, if you're ready to finish 2025 strong with me, then let's do this. It's 31 days, no backsliding for us. And, no more like, I'm going to start later. No giving into December. Don't give it its power that it's had for us in the years past. We are going to do it differently this year. We are doing it with intentionality. We're going to be so intentional this year. We're doing it together as a community. And we're going to start right now. If you're watching this video, it's Monday, December 1st. We're starting right now. But I want to thank you all for checking out today's video. I wanted to do something more inspiring, more motivating, to kick us into overdrive into December, to still keep our goals and have fun at the same time. But thank you so much for catching up with me today and checking out my video. See you in the next one. Bye.